From the Detroit Free Press, it's Friday. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
This is Clara Hendrickson for the Detroit Free Press. Michigan's Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission held its first meeting Wednesday following its statewide public hearing tour to solicit feedback on its draft congressional and legislative districts. The meeting was delayed more than 2 hours after the commission reported a death threat it received via email. The threat was referred to law enforcement, and Michigan State University Police and Michigan State Police are investigating the threat. After reconvening, the commission held a controversial closed-door session to receive legal advice from its attorneys regarding the Voting Rights Act, the federal law that prohibits redistricting plans that dilute the voting strength of minorities. The Michigan Constitution requires the commission conduct all of its business at open meetings. The commission's lawyer said the commission could discuss material subject to attorney-client privilege under the Open Meetings Act.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Eric D. Lawrence. Detroiters who live in an East Side neighborhood next to the city's newest auto assembly plant are raising their voices in protest over environmental concerns after the plant received its second violation notice from regulators. Stellantis, formerly known as Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, has been given a deadline of November 10 to respond to a notice in October related to volatile organic compound emissions at the Mack assembly plant, where new versions of the Jeep Grand Cherokee are built. Following the violation notice from the state, about 20 residents and a few political hopefuls gathered nearby. Resident Kenneth Holloway said the smell from the plant prompted him to take his wife to urgent care, and he's frustrated that residents aren't getting better support from the city and the company. He told the crowd that, quote, "It's sad that we get treated like third-hand citizens," end quote. Stellantis has not addressed the protest, but regarding the notice from the state, the company said, quote, "The plant has been and continues to be in full compliance with the permitted emissions limits. We will work to address this issue promptly," end quote. In the first notice, which was issued in September, staff from the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy's Air Quality Division had noted persistent and objectionable paint or solvent odors during multiple visits to the site after receiving complaints from residents. In response, Stellantis said it hired an engineering firm to conduct an investigation into the odor complaints and that the facility's emissions control equipment was working properly.
I'm Adrienne Roberts reporting for the Detroit Free Press. Michigan's marijuana market is growing and expanding at a rapid pace. Through July, marijuana sales in the state reached more than $970 million in 2021. And looking to get a piece of that market, there are new companies and product announcements on seemingly a weekly basis. For example, there's a new cannabis-infused sparkling water brand called Happy that's now available in several dispensaries throughout the state. Executives at the company aim to serve consumers looking for a microdose of marijuana and women. They're positioning the beverage as a healthier alternative to a glass of wine. Each can contains less than 25 calories. And it's one of the first cannabis beverages on the market. Also now available in Michigan is a new brand by Flourish, and that's a cannabis cultivator, processor, and retailer in Grand Rapids and Adrian. It's called Carbon by Flourish, and its creators say it's a premium plant-forward brand with heavy terpene profiles. And terpenes are the aromatic oils that give cannabis varieties their distinctive flavors. Finally, keep an eye out for a line of marijuana products by former Detroit Pistons star and NBA champion Ben Wallace. His line of products is set to launch in early 2022 and will include cannabis flower, pre-rolls, and vape cartridges.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist at the Detroit Free Press. When it comes to calculating Social Security benefits, there are all sorts of twists and turns that many people don't know a thing about, and frankly, they don't need to. Take the average wage index. Normally, it's just part of the formula. But for the past year, the growth of that index has created a great deal of fear for those born in 1960, or people who turned 62 in 2022. In congressional testimony in July 2020, the Social Security Administration's chief actuary suggested that benefits for this group could end up being 9% lower thanks to a quirk in this index. We're talking about more than 4 million people. Now, the good news. The recession wasn't nearly as horrific as many had expected, and that wage index actually went up, not down. So those turning 62 can stop worrying about a 9% benefits cut. It's not going to happen. But it is a quirk that continues to remain on the horizon, and it could hurt families in the future when there is a deep economic downturn. The Urban Institute noted that a group born in 1949 saw a similar issue after the Great Recession in 2009. That group did see a small cut in Social Security benefits over their lifetime. Experts say the fix is pretty easy, but Congress would need to address it to avoid future headaches.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.